Whoa, 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 whoa. You told me you were making these, and now you're starting them without me.
Well, yes.
Oh, yes.
So these are brown butter brownies. A little bit different than the brownies we made last week. Same basic recipe, except this time I browned the butter. So to make this, you're going to need butter, chocolate, white sugar, brown sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, flour, cocoa powder, baking powder, and salt.
Did it take very long?
No, so I browned it in a frying pan. Put the butter in a frying pan on medium heat. One of the problems that people, when they brown butter, is they try to brown it too quickly.
So they burn their
and
butter.
They burn it. So I put it in a frying pan over sort of medium heat, and it'll start to spit as all of the water's driven off, and then it'll go brown, and it'll go brown very quickly. So as soon as you see like a brown sand in it, you've got to pull it off. You've got to watch it very closely, otherwise it'll burn. And then
Did you have to do it more than once?
no, I only had to do it once.
Oh, aren't you lucky?
And then I melted the chocolate in the brown butter.
Okay.
Right in the pan. As soon as I took it off the heat, put the chocolate in, and started melting it. And when you put the chocolate in, it looks horrible. It looks like you've made a terrible mistake. Just keep stirring it.
So the only difference then is that same amount of butter, but instead of whipping the butter up into a nice creamy texture, you browned it.
Instead of just melting it with the.
Oh, that's right, because we're making. Sorry, that's right. We're not making cookies. We're making brownies.
No, so you lost a lot of the moisture content, and this was a very, very, very thick batter because you lost all of that moisture content. But they're very fudgy and chewy.
I'm not sure I can taste the difference. Oh, mind you, that was a whole week ago.
True. And so then I just made it the same as a regular brownie. Mixed together the white sugar, the brown sugar, a couple of eggs in a stand mixer. Put in the vanilla and whip that in. And then separately, I sifted together the flour and the cocoa powder, salt, and a little bit of baking powder.
Taste, if there's a difference, is very subtle, but the chewiness is definitely different. It's definitely a chewier, fudgier brownie than last week's.
Put the chocolate in after it had cooled a little bit, because you don't want to scramble the eggs. Every once in a while you need to stop the mixer and just take a rubber spatula and scrape down the sides. You just want to make sure that you've got everything mixed together. And then with the stand mixer on low, I just sort of spooned in the flour and cocoa mixture. You can do this off the stand mixer if you want, but you know, this has been working out for me, so I'm just going to keep doing it this way. And then once the batter is ready, I scrape that into a buttered baking pan that I've put a parchment sling in, and the parchment sling makes it very easy to get the brownies out at the end. Once I've got it in the pan, smooth out the top, and then stick that in a preheated oven to bake.
All right, so I look forward to next week. What are we doing next week? What are we doing next week?
So next week I'm going to take this, And I'm going to make it triple chocolate. I found some chocolate liqueur left over from an ice cream recipe that we had been making.
That was good ice cream.
So I think if I can put in that liquid, because we've taken the liquid out from the butter, and see if we can bump up the chocolate flavor. I really like the texture of these. I think browning the butter really.
You like the chewy?
I like the chewy. Yeah, these are good. These are good brownies. So come back next week.
They're not very good. You shouldn't share them.
Next week for something completely different.